All right, welcome back, readers. We are going to read chapters 5 and 6 today of The Magic Tree House, Pirates Past Noon. And we're focusing on making sure we practice our tools for understanding our books. So we need to make sure that we're getting it, that we understand. Whenever I read a chapter book, I always go back to make sure that I really understand everything and I haven't forgotten anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of go through the pages, and I want you to take a look at the picture and talk with someone about what was going on in that picture and what was going on in the book at that time. And then when I turn the page, we can talk about the next one. So go ahead and talk about what's happening here at the beginning of the story. Oh, talk with someone about this part. What does this picture tell you? Oh, here we go. Here's another picture. What happened here with Annie and Jack? Oh, and what do you remember happening here? Okay, so let's start reading chapter 5. And again, as we're doing it, make a movie to picture what's happening. Remember, you can always draw as I'm reading, but make sure you're drawing what I'm reading, right? That drawing should help you understand. Don't just draw any old picture. Draw what I am reading about. That's a good way to help you understand. All right. Chapter 5, The Kids' Treasure. Jack and Annie watched in horror. The gold greedy pirates seemed to have lost their minds. Jack nudged Annie. Together they started back slowly away from the pirates, towards the treehouse. "Halt!" Captain Bones shouted. He aimed his pistol at the air. "Not another step, lubbers!" Jack and Annie froze. Captain Bones grinned his black tooth grin. "Tell old Bones where the rest is." He growled, "Or prepare to meet thy doom." What rest?" said Annie. "The rest of the treasure," roared Captain Bones. "I know it's on this island. I have a map." He reached into his belt pouch and pulled out a torn piece of paper. He waved it at Jack and Annie. Is that a treasure map?" asked Jack. "Aye, it's the map telling about Kids' Treasure." "Ooh, that's interesting. It says KIDDS. Interesting. Which kids' treasure?" "Not us kids," said Annie. "We don't know anything about a kid's treasure." "Why don't you read the map?" said Jack. "You read it." Captain Bones shoved the map in Jack's face. Jack stared at the strange marks on the paper. "What does that mean?" asked Jack. "What does what mean?" asked Captain Bones. "Those words." Jack pointed to the words at the bottom of the map. "Well, it means—" Captain Bones, good eye squinted at the writing. He frowned. He coughed. He rubbed his nose. "Ah, leave him alone," Pinky growled at Jack. "You know he can't read," said Stinky. "Oh, be quiet," Captain Bones roared at his men. "Jack and I read," said Annie piped up. "Shh," said Jack. "Captain, make him read the map," said Stinky. Captain Bones gave Jack and Annie a dark look. "Read it," he growled. "Then will you let us go?" said Jack. The pirate squinted his good eye. "Aye, lubber. When the treasure's in me hands, I'll let you go." "Okay," said Jack. "I'll read it to you." He looked at the map. "It says, 'The gold doth lie beneath the whale's eye.'" "Eh?" Captain Bones scowled. What's that supposed to mean, lubber? Jack shrugged. Hang it, take 'em back to the ship, shouted Captain Bones. They can rot there till they're ready to tell us how to find Kid's treasure. Jack and Annie were tossed into the rowboat. Waves splashed the sides. The sky ahead was dark with thunderclouds. A strong wind had started to blow. Row, dogs, row, said Captain Bones. Pinky and Stinky began rowing towards the big ship. Look, Annie said to Jack. She pointed to the shore. Polly the parrot was flying over the sand. She wants to help us, whispered Annie. Polly started to fly out over the waves, but the winds were too strong. She turned around and flew back to the island. Oh, all right. Hey, Rocco, what did you think of that chapter? Oh, boy, I'm so glad that Polly is back. I think she's gonna save the day. That's my prediction. I think my cousin Polly is gonna help Jack and my family. We're very kind people. We're very helpful people. I think Polly is gonna help save the day. Okay, Rocco. Well, friends, we just finished that chapter. So just do a quick retell of what happened, or do a quick acting it out of what happened. And then make sure that you make a prediction about what's going to happen next. Go ahead and pause, and we'll come back for chapter 6. All right. Chapter 6, The Whale's Eye. The rowboat tossed from side to side. The waves were huge. Salty spray stung Jack's eyes. He felt seasick. Hold her steady, shouted Captain Bones. He pointed at the sea. Or we'll be met for the evil brutes. Or we'll be meat for the evil brutes. Dark fins cut through the water. Sharks. One zoomed right by the boat. Jack could have reached out and touched it. He shuddered. Soon the rowboat pulled alongside the ship. The air was filled with wild fiddle music and bagpipes playing, and Jack heard cheers and shouts and ugly laughter. Hoist him aboard, Captain Bones shouted to his men. Annie and Jack were hauled onto the deck. The ship creaked and moaned. It rolled from side to side. Ropes flapped and snapped in the wild wind. Everywhere they looked, Jack and Annie saw pirates. Some were dancing, many were fighting with swords or with their fists. Lock 'em in my cabin, Captain Bones ordered. A couple of pirates grabbed Jack and Annie and threw them in the ship's cabin, then locked the door. The air inside the cabin was damp and sour smelling. A shaft of gray light came through a small round window. Oh, man, said Jack. We've got to figure out how to get back to the island. So we can get into the treehouse and go home, said Annie. Right. Jack suddenly felt tired. How would they ever get out of this mess? Oh, we better examine the book, he said. He reached into his pack and pulled out the pirate book. He flipped through the pages. He looked for information to help them. Look, he said. He found a picture of pirates burying a treasure. This might help. Together they read the words under the picture. Captain Kidd was a famous pirate. It is said that he buried a treasure chest on a deserted island. The chest was filled with gold and jewels. Captain Kidd, said Jack. So that's the kid that Bones keeps talking about, said Annie. Right, said Jack. Annie looked out the round window. And Captain Kidd's treasure is buried somewhere on the island, she said. Jack took out his notebook and pencil. He wrote, Captain Kidd's treasure on island. Jack, said Annie. Shh, wait a minute, he said. I'm thinking. Guess what I see, said Annie. What? Jack asked. He looked back at the book. A whale. Neat, he said. Then he looked up. A whale? Did you say a whale? A whale. A huge whale, as big as a football field. Jack jumped up and looked out the window with her. Where? Jack asked. All he could see was the island and stormy waves and shark fins. There, said Annie. Where? Where? There. The island is shaped like a giant whale. Oh, man, whispered Jack. Now he could see it. See the whale's back, said Annie. Yep. The slope of the island looked like the back of a whale. See his spout, said Annie. Yep. The palm tree that held the tree house looked like the spout of a whale. See his eye, said Annie. Yep. A big black rock looked like the eye of the whale. Oh, that's a great picture. The gold doth lie beneath the whale's eye, whispered Jack. Wow. Oh, wow. Readers, tell me, what are you thinking? That's pretty cool. They found a clue. Talk with someone next to you. Make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen